Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Motorsport Manager, the Underdog Challenge. And today we are running the second to last race of the season. And we're going to beautiful Rio de Janeiro, where apparently it's going to be a bit of a rainy weekend, as you can see, during practice, qualifying, and race weekend, or race day. Yeah, it looks like there's going to be quite some rain, so let's see how that goes. At the very least, it looks like our engine will come in handy, as that is a crucial part. So will the suspension, which we're not really that great at, and the rear wing, which also isn't one of our strong points right now. But we are working actually on that. Suspension is going to come in 10 hours. And then we have the rear wing, which will probably also start on relatively soon. So let's see. In 10 days, the Rio de Janeiro Grand Prix starts. And then we have one more development time period, which will be until the last race of the season. So let's see what we can do still on our car then. All right. Hamilton with Wickdow behind. Sure. Lipponen wins close fight in this Sydney qualifying. Yup. And our car, we didn't crash it. So that was good, at least for the car's life. You finished well down in the pecking order in practice. Only managed to finish in 18th. Did you struggle to find the right setup? Yeah, honestly, we don't care about practice, Simon. But say that I'm not sure this one actually has any benefits or downsides. We had one pit mistake. Actually, don't remember that when that happened. Must have been. Yeah, it must have been to Lopano, right? We actually tried to do well with Bohovsky in the end, but wasn't meant to be in that race, unfortunately. Let's have a quick look. Recap. Yeah, I think Tulipano had a mistake and it just wasn't his weekend altogether. Had some unlucky safety cars, and then, yeah, we didn't do too well, luckily for us. Also, our main rivals, Van Dort Racing, didn't do good either, as they finished both below us. And that means we still have an 11-point lead over them. So let's see if we can keep that with only 2 more races to go. I certainly hope so. Right, suspension build finished after 10 hours. Very good. That's a pretty good suspension right there, I'd say. I think it is illegal, as we have been building illegal ones for a bit now. But yeah, that is a nice little increase. And as you can see, we can also still improve it to 1392, whereas this one is almost done increasing. But yeah, that should be very nice. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we can't do this. We could add one more random legendary part. Question is that worth it? I'm not sure, to be honest. We do this, of course. This. And then this. That would come to 21 days. I think that basically guarantees we can't do any work at all anymore on a rear wing. Yeah. I mean, this could be really good. It could also just be complete crap, though. So let's not. We'll just leave it as is. Let's work on the rear wing. I think that's fine. We can immediately make it illegal. And we have some pretty good perks here that we can at least get to still. Yeah, that's a cool 65 points that we'll have next season already. So that should be nice. And these will also finish very quick. That is even before the race starts. We already have finished our first rear wing. That's quite nice. All right, a fixed payment. Wow, these are crap. Yeah, these are just straight crap. Bibelitas, just not good. Hablar, 200,000 per race. That's horrible. La Paz Telecom 750 for 4 races overall. That's just all really bad. Yeah, that basically means we're just gonna have to. We're just gonna have to wait. We're gonna let these 2 expire, and in 2 races, hopefully we get a better sponsor, because that is honestly not worth it at all. All right, AVO launches his cookbook, which does actually give him a -5 fitness debuff. That's quite annoying, actually, because anyway, we don't need his marketability to be higher, so that 25 doesn't do anything for us. And the -5 is actually quite a severe penalty. That means he'll do worse near the end of the race when that fitness starts kicking in, basically. That is a little bit annoying. Car repair is finished. And yeah, we have only 3 things right now to still work on. These 2 parts and the suspension that we just made. Right here. Do we first finish these? I mean, honestly, we might just work on all of them at the same time. Doesn't matter too much. And we could just do that first. Let them finish this first, and then we'll start working on the next one. I think that's better, actually. All right, so that is all the work there out of the way. So right now, if we look at our status, the performance of our gearbox is as good as it can be. The performance of our engine also maxed out. Brakes is going to be spec parted, front wing spec parted. Suspension, we're still working on this one, of course. And then we have the rear wing, which, well, that should be fine. Since that is going to be developed relatively soon, only 5 days to go. And we should still be able to maximize the performance out of that too. All right, for Rio then, 28 lap race, 35% chance of rain, so not that much. The laps are rather long, 1 minute and 50 seconds. That is a lot, actually. So this will be a long race, and ultra softs and super softs are going to be where it's at. All right, we have a healthy balance sheet. Obviously, we have 40 million. That is quite nice. And there is our first rear wing of the season, right near the end of it, actually. That is quite a substantial upgrade. I mean, let's have a quick look. I don't think we can go up to... Let's see, we picked that one, obviously. I don't... Are we allowed to do great? Let's have a look. In our HQ, we can actually. Okay, so it would be great if we could do 2 more rear wings. Then we could do this and that. And then we could do 1 more. We have 2 days after the race. That is going to be tough, I think. Well, let's have a look. How long? Oh, actually, that's like almost 3 weeks. Okay, that should be perfectly fine then. Great. Let's do that. Means we're going to make 2 more rear wings. Also means we don't have to work at all on the rear wing that we just made, because we're not going to be taking it into next season. We are going to take this one. And as these are also fully maximized immediately bonuses, there's not much work to be done in terms of performance on these rear wings anyway. So that is very nice. I think this is going to time out pretty perfectly. Main thing will be, we're obviously going to take that, I think. It's either that or that one if we think we can't do enough performance work. We're going to have to do quite a bit of work on there, but on the other hand, we do have a lot of time after the race, so hopefully we can still just work on the performance, but we'll have to see. At the very least, we're going to try. Rear wings are not expensive at all, so we might as well, right? Like I said, we're not going to be working on this rear wing that we just built. That was just an in-betweener. And that means also that we have all the time in the world to work on this suspension. So that is very nice. Great. Yeah, let's keep on trucking ahead. Phoenix being run in the Asia Pacific Super Cup. And let's go on ahead. There you go. And pre-race gossip, nothing much. Apparently Steinman Motorsports has upgraded their telemetry center. Cost them 8 million, so that must be quite nice now. Let's have a look actually. How do we shape up in terms of... our performance is pretty good. We're actually second. Ahead of Steinman. So, somehow Steinman is only in 9th? That is crazy. They don't really have a good HQ at all, actually, but they're the richest team, I'm pretty sure. So that is interesting. Their car is really good. It's just apparently their actual HQ is just not that great. For example, Catano's is really good. They're in 1st, but their car is down there, right? Like 5th. Actually, they're really underperforming then. If their car is in 5th, they're now in 7th. Wow, that is an underperformance. Okay. Whereas we are obviously overperforming by quite a bit. We're in 5th, whereas according to the car standings, at least we should be in 9th. Apparently Van Dort is in 10th. So they're also overperforming by quite a bit, going to 6th in total. Wow, interesting. All right, let's take 7th or above as always, with 28 laps to go. How warm will it be? 23, 30, 23. I am considering trying to do a 1-stop. We need to do 14 laps, which I think we should be able to do with Tulipano. since he has the perk. So I think for Tulipano, let's take 5 super softs just so he can practice on it and be for sure fine on... Well, then anyway, we wouldn't need it, right? Because we're going to need the ultras for qualifying. We're going to need 1 super soft for practice. And then 2 to 3 for race day. So yeah, honestly 4 is fine. So let's do what we always do actually. That makes more sense to me. Part fitting, I didn't swap anything around, so that should just be fine. I think. Yeah, looks all normal. Okay. Very nice. Let's get going. There we go. 2 beautiful Rio. And yeah, very nice track here. Lots of trees, big grandstand. And yeah, just lots of nice greenery. Don't see Christ the Redeemer anywhere in the background. Don't know if that was too hard to model or it's not allowed, but maybe it wouldn't make too much sense to put it in there anyway. All right, there we go. And as always, we're picking Farah and Tulipano. We're gonna not practice on the supers immediately, though we are trying to run that for AVO. Actually, 7 to 9, that is very short. If we... Well, okay, but that's Farah. That's fair enough. He has 11 to 13. I'm wondering if we even need the perk then, honestly, for AVO. If it's a 28 lap rate, yeah, you should actually be able to do supers even without the perk. And maybe the same for... That might honestly be the same for Vohovsky. So we could actually focus on the supers more than the ultras. And with the high heat, we can also conserve where we need to. So I think actually that's what we're going to do. We're going to practice on the super softs. Let's see, do we have any setups for Rio? We do. This is car 1. Let's try that. And for you, we need Rio car 2. And yeah, let's try to just use the supers, because I think it would be nice not to have to do too many pit stops here. And there you go. All right, here we go. And of course we're gonna bring them in immediately again as well. And let's see how we can do here. Obviously, by starting to run on the super softs and not pitting, we're gonna lose speed during the actual race. But I think that could be worth it, honestly. That's 89%, pretty good start. And we know already where we need to go as well. The downforce is probably something like right here. Handling is already great. Speed balance, let's try something like that. And yeah, we do obviously need to train for the race, not for qualifying, as I always make that mistake by not paying attention to it. 87%, very good. I suppose we can just try and go this way, because that is the bigger side. It should ideally be on that side. Handling needs to just go back to where it was. Speed balance, let's try to nudge it towards the right a little bit. And yeah, let's go again. It is gonna rain actually. So we should probably go on the inters for a little bit. That doesn't really do well for my strategy, but that's fine. Alright, let's take the inters. Save the setup. This is car 2 in Rio. There you go. That is something to consider, honestly. If it is gonna rain, doing a one-stop obviously wouldn't be that great. We went much worse with you, actually. Wow. What happened there? Okay. So we need to go that way on the speed balance and that way on the downforce. Fair enough. Let's try something like that. And that's a bit too much, honestly. We're already on good. We shouldn't take you too far. Let's try something like that. And you also need to get some inters. All right, out you go. Yeah, that is something to consider. If we're gonna try and do a one-stop and it does end up raining, that would suck a lot for us. But 35% isn't that much. And if we are anyway on the super softs, it does also give us more of a chance to maybe start using them up more, or make sure that we can last longer until the rain starts and then go for Inter. So I think it's fine. Let's keep going with what we have. We should do one more round at least on the Inters probably. You're looking fine. I don't know why I brought you in actually, because you're already at 97%. Farah, you do need to have a look. Okay, you're good now. Perfect. And let's save you as well. Your car 1 in Rio. Oh, not Rido. Sounds like a Japanese name or something. Alright, there you go. Send them out for a little while, and I do want to still practice mostly on the supers. Doesn't mean we're not really going to get a nice qualifier bonus, probably. But that is what it is. I mean, it's not like we get a choice here with the rain just being, yeah, what it is. Let's probably bring them in now. We can definitely get some practice still done on the supers. And that is unfortunate. That almost makes me want to just send one of them out for one more time on the Inters, but how often do we actually take the Inter buff, right? Doesn't seem very useful, to be honest. Go be on the super softs and get your race trim on. We're gonna anyway bring them in very soon to switch to qualifying. See what we can still get done there, but they're gonna stay on the supers. That seems like the best course here, as long as you can, and out you go. And qualifying for 3 laps, and out you go. Alright. You can see we're only using up 1 super soft set, so yeah, we could have even brought 3, but it's not like we're gonna use 8 ultra softs either, so kind of fine, to be honest. Obviously our times are not gonna be great, but let's see. We are on old super softs. We packed in not that much fuel, so this doesn't bode too well, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't want to be on ultra softs the entire race, and we'd have to, let's see, if we did like 10, we could, I guess, do a 2-stop, but I'd rather not. You guys are gonna come in anyway, but I don't think we're getting a tier 3 regardless. I'll try and send you out if it's possible, but that it's not. Alright, fair enough. Well, we still got a tier 2 on the qualifying. That's honestly not too bad. Again, we couldn't get the tier 2 on Inters, but didn't want to send them out for a full lap just for that little bit, and chance of us actually using that perk is not that high unless it's super rainy the whole race, but we wouldn't know that, right? So we're gonna take the qualifying trim and the Twitter spot one, and qualifying, and yeah, other one doesn't matter honestly, because we are of course gonna start on the ultra soft. That is just what it is. So, oh, that's gonna be rain actually. Means we're not gonna send our guys out. There's no point, because there's already a big gap there where for sure it's gonna be dry. So even if it does start raining again, that shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, we're not gonna try and set lap times with Inters. There's honestly no point. And it does start raining again. That is super good for us. All right, so that means we can set a perfect lap basically. Probably gonna send them out. That's quite a large gap, so that should be perfectly fine. Let's send them out now because it is a long time out. Out you go, and out you go. All right. Let's see. By the time they're out, it should definitely be dry, I think, and we should. Oh, we need to put this to automatic. Let's see what we can do here. Might have mistimed it slightly. No, that should actually be pretty perfect timing, I think. Yeah, by the time they're across the finish, they should be. They're already halfway through, so we actually timed that pretty perfectly. We're doing some purples. Makes sense. Some people are doing outlaps right now, but let's see how they do. We did set some good times, even without bonuses, so I think we should get some. Yeah, it's already gonna rain again. I think Modi is our biggest competitor. He's about halfway through right now. But he's gonna slow down soon, I think. I hope. Need that rain to ramp up a little bit quicker here. That's another purple. But that might be a horrible last sector there. Because now it is really raining hard, so he's gonna slow down a lot here. And where did he go? Modi. Yeah, only in 10th. Yeah, that last sector was a killer, honestly. Especially on ultras that just don't do well in the rain. Same for Stromby, same for Flores and Lavoie. As always, this was just a lucky good timing that it ended up raining for most of it, but not everything. As always, if you see this, honestly, take immediate use of it. Don't worry at all about setting any earlier lap times on inters or anything else. Doesn't matter at all. You just want to be out there on the driest part of the track. You are actually... Wow, Surikov actually set a quicker lap than us on inters. That doesn't bode well for us at all tomorrow, but good for him. I mean, he took pole. Still, we got our sponsor objective and we got a 2 and 3, so definitely not upset at that, but a little bit funny, of course, that he still managed to overtake us even on inters. But to be fair, we didn't have any ultra soft bonuses or anything like that, and yeah, that does matter, of course. We're gonna take super soft and race trim just to have as much performance on worse tires as possible. Let's have a quick look though. Volhovsky, you should be able to... Yeah, that's also 14. Perfect. Yeah, we're gonna just try and do a one stop for once. It's been a while since we've done that, and why not, right? Let's check. Oh wow. Actually, no, that's not one stop. Well, depends, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 blocks, which counts for 7 laps. So it's about 1.5 per block. So that's 3 times 1.5, where inters are probably stronger. That's about a 4.5 lap gap that we can see, at least, where inters are stronger. Which makes me wonder, honestly, why not just stay out? That's a close one, but I think we're gonna still try and do our strategy. Maybe we just use a bit of fuel there. Yeah, I think we're gonna just do it. We're gonna try and keep our strategy, unless we see one more block there at the end, and then it might end up turning into a switch to inters. But honestly, that's so little. If we can do our one-stop strategy, I would very much welcome it. Volsky didn't get a great start there, immediately dropped to 4th. Tulipano actually fighting Surikov for first, which is interesting on super softs. I don't expect him to hold out very long there, to be honest. And since we are playing a different game, we are going to immediately pull back a little on the strategy here. We're going to give them less resources. That is going to make us drop back a lot of spaces, but we're expecting that anyway, and we are playing a much different game. That is a lot more rain. Okay, we did see that it was going to dry up a little bit, it seemed, but now you can tell it obviously isn't. That means we're gonna fight through. We're gonna really start using these tires up. So yeah, that is unfortunate. As you can see there on the block, like just before lap 14, you saw that it was going to be dry, and it is, to be fair, for one lap. But yeah, right afterwards, it appears that it's going to thunderstorm. So that is unfortunate. The one time we do try a one stop, we immediately get thrown a curveball here. That looks to me like we're gonna have to just do inters and then go to wets, and then hopefully it stays like that and we can just go for wets till the end of the race. But obviously that's gonna not be up to us. Let's pray to the winter or the weather gods that something like that happens. But yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. It does look like it's going to be wet for a little while. We're going to have to pull back a little bit on the temperature here. Definitely wish we weren't on super softs right now, obviously, but well, it is what it is. Curious to see. Yeah, probably all of the ultra soft runners are going to get a great pit stop timing by the time they have to come in. They're probably just going to switch immediately to inters. It is what it is. I'm not going to pull back too much on the tires here. We're already at 60%. That is more than enough to bridge the gap till when it starts raining. Definitely not sure if we're going to come in for wets there. If it drops off too quickly, we'll just stay out on the inters and then go back to slicks at the end. But that isn't up to us, is it? So let's see. Filipano, for now, at least holding on quite well, actually, to third here. He is getting pushed, though, by Sharp and Hamilton. Makes perfect sense. Our tires are actually dying quicker than theirs because we have been overheating. Do I care about that though? We need to, well, we need to do like 3 more laps. So I suppose let's underheat our tires a little bit, or cool them, as you will, and that should be fine. It is very hot, obviously, so that is having a big impact on our tires. It looks like it's going to cool down a little bit once it starts raining. To me, this just screams inters all the way, to be honest. That's 2 laps maximum, maybe 3. 4, yeah, maybe 4 laps where wets probably, you can argue, are better, but I don't think that's worth it. It's gonna start raining now, pretty much. We have until 15%, so that should be perfectly fine. We do need to think, though. How many laps are we gonna be on these inters? Because we can be for quite a while, right? Yeah, they're 15 laps long. That should be perfectly fine, honestly. I think we're gonna wait and we're gonna try and do a double stack. There is a good amount of time between our guys. So, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Let's bring them in now, because I think that rain is gonna ramp up quite quickly. We're gonna come in, we're gonna go on the inters, and for 15 laps, that should be perfectly fine until the rain tampers off around lap 22. So that should fit pretty perfectly, actually. We're gonna bring both guys in and just do a double stack. I think there's already that much time in between us that should be perfectly fine. Some brave souls gonna stay out. I don't think that's a good choice, but maybe they're gonna try and go for wets or something. Oh, that is a mistake on the rear jack. Doesn't matter for Wolfsky, but obviously does matter in our pit stop timing. Luckily, it wasn't a very bad one. 1.5 seconds, could be a lot worse. Wolfsky had a quicker pit stop, I think, so that's fine. And let's just run it out now. I think we're gonna set some good time now, at least, since it's already raining quite a bit. The runners behind, yeah, these guys should be pretty slow. They've been setting some slow laps here, I think. Obviously, they're gonna still come out ahead of us, but that's fine. Schmidt, actually, the first one to just straight up go for wets. I don't know about that. I think we're gonna pass him pretty quickly. Yeah, that's not a good choice to me at all. Stramby here also very slow. Everyone that's still out right now is making a huge mistake. I think Hamilton, Lavoie, De Graaf, Modi, and Flores all made a terrible mistake. As you can see, Tulipano is just bulldozing past them. And that makes perfect sense too. Not gonna push our tires too much. We do need them to last pretty much till the rain is over. Then we'll probably go for just a set of ultra softs at the end of the race there to run it out. Yeah, we're gonna be in first. No, in third, behind Surikov and Sharp, I think. I think we're gonna pretty comfortably go past all these 3 guys. That makes sense. Yep, there you go. So yeah, provisionally in third. Very nice here. Yeah, unfortunately, the super softs didn't work out at all for us. I chose a strategy where I said, well, there's only a 35% chance of rain. What bad things can happen, right? But obviously, well, we got that 35%. But so far, that's working out for us pretty decently. For a long time, the wets are just not going to be better. So I really disagree with all these runners on the wets. I know there's going to be a bit there where wets are going to be stronger, but if you look at the amount of time you're going to be on the inters instead and where they are better, that's just way longer. As you can see, even Wolfsky went past Smith now, and he's 2 seconds ahead already. Could be that he's going to make that up in a bit, but with how dry this track right now is, especially with it drying up for this entire round, which bamboozled us at the start, yeah, I think this is a much better strategy. 23 degrees, that should mean our temperature isn't going to go up too much, especially since we're staying on yellow engine mode, and I think this would be a good time to also maybe get a little bit of our fuel back here. That probably could be better. Yeah, you're pitting now for wets. I really don't see that being the correct play here. Because if you look... Oh, there comes the thunder. If you see... Yeah. We're definitely going to be in the better wet territory for a bit. Don't get me wrong, but... I just don't see why you would... No, I just don't think that's worth it at all. But yeah, wets are going to be pretty much... Yeah, there you go. I know wets are better right now. Although you're like 20 seconds behind. That's a lot of time to make up here. And then again, you're gonna have to switch to inters or straight to slicks there for a while. So I just don't think that's good. But let's see. Anything can happen, of course. We could have gone to wets there at the end and still maybe done fine. But I'd rather not switch at all and just go to slicks near the end of the race. So let's see. Maybe I'm making a horrible mistake here. Of course, could be. We are getting overtaken right now again by Surkov, but he was only like 6 seconds behind. We're gonna have to last on these inters for a while. And as you can see, we are getting overtaken now by the guys that were right behind us. That's okay. 11 laps remaining. Nothing much to be done here, so I'm just running it out on times 12. And yeah, rain is going to taper off now, so still not too bad here. We're still in third provisionally. And as I said, these guys are going to need to hit again, which is what I didn't want to do. Same for Schmidt, same for Becker. Like, unless you just want to be on inters there for also like something like 3 laps, I just don't think that's worth it at all. Yeah, see, right now they almost caught up to us, Schmidt and Becker there, but I don't think they're going to pass us. I think that the rain is going to taper off too quick. Everyone's going to go to inters or have to go straight to slicks, which both are suboptimal. I'm wondering what they're... Straight to slicks. They're going to be slow. They're going to be really slow on those slicks. Yeah, okay, interesting. As you can see now, they couldn't close the gap quick enough. They didn't go past us, and now we don't even need to make... move on them. Only thing is, are we going to be able to catch up to these guys? Well, they're probably going to just go to ultras, I imagine. Yeah, there you go. That is the ultra soft tire. Lots of people actually going on it right now. I don't think I'm going yet. I think we're still staying. We're staying out for at least this lap, maybe even the next, depending on how quick that is going to drop off. We'll see. I'm not too sure actually, because we have right now, as soon as the leader goes past, we'll have 7 laps remaining. Theoretically, we can make it work. Do we want to though? We're gonna see. Once we get near the point of no return, let's say, we're gonna have a look. We are a lot quicker than Surkov. I'm assuming he's gonna pit now. You're not pitting? You have to be pitting. Yeah, there you go. He made the choice at the last moment. Fair enough. Good move by them. I think. Let's see. What is the marker there? It's gonna be tight, but I think we can just go to the ultras now, and that should be fine. We're gonna make that work either way. Let's get in there, and same for Volsky. Of course, there's a large gap between him and Tulipano, so a double stack shouldn't be an issue at all. And yeah, let's come into the pits as well and just go to the ultra soft tire. There you go. Again, a mistake on the front jack. That is just first the rear jack, now the front jack. That's going to cost us 1.5 seconds. Means we're in third provisionally. That sucks, but I think even without the mistake, obviously that would have happened. Sharp as a blazing pace right now. But hey, we are fighting for a podium officially, so let's see if we can. Povsky gonna give you some fuel there to play with, and yeah, we don't have that many laps left, so we should be fine here on the ultra soft tire, especially with the temperature not really being that high. We could have maybe waited 1 more lap to try and go on the inter, but I think this is fine. Gonna have to try and hold off Becker here, who is also running pretty tough there. Yeah, he just had a great lap. But he's gonna need to conserve his tire, as you can see, so hopefully he'll keep doing that. That would be nice. We only have like 2.5 seconds between us and him, so this car really seems to suit, for Windsor Racing, really seems to suit this track. Oh, we'll have to see if we can keep him behind. We do have more tire to play with than Becker, so he should be in the bracket now where it's gonna drop off soon, his pace a little bit at least. That would be nice. And only 5 laps remaining, so we should be fine. We can eventually also start using our temperature maybe a little, but as you can see, it's heating up quite quickly. So I'd rather not be at the point where we need to conserve our tire. I mean, right now, at least we're in a very good bracket in terms of tire length. But that is, yeah, Becker is getting dangerously close. That's 2.2 seconds now. Tulipano, you're going to need to set some better lap times than that, my man. Can't give you much more in terms of fuel. He's pushing that tire to the limit, though. With 4 laps remaining, I guess let's also start doing that a little. Same for Volsky then, might as well. We're going to need you to speed up a little bit here. Fastest lap by Schmidt, which he somehow only got in the 3rd sector, nowhere else. Interesting. 2 seconds. less than 2 seconds now. Yeah, we can't push those tires for very long, to be honest. Becker at least also needs to go back a little bit now on his fuel and his tire, so hopefully that's enough for us. Gonna need to go to just yellow mode now on the tire. Definitely don't want to overstep our boundaries there. But we did manage to get the gap above 2 seconds again. And yeah, he's going full conserve mode, so let's hope that we can stay ahead. It would be beautiful to get a podium here. Also, since Gonzalez and Flores is in 20th, so those are our main rivals and they're not anywhere close to the points. That would be very nice. I am keeping a little bit of an eye on the fuel, but 0.4, that should be easy to get back. And we did extend our lead a little bit, so let's get that fuel back right now, actually. You are having some problem, which I don't really care about, but let's also get your fuel back a little. Tire is going to degrade now quickly, so let's get a little bit of heat out of that tire. Even with 2 laps remaining, I get that. I just don't want to go into the bottom border too quickly. Once we hit like 35% or something, that tire is going to degrade like crazy, and I really don't want that to happen. He is starting to push again, but now he has to do 2.6 seconds again just to get to us. Hopefully we can keep up. We did spend that little bit of fuel, or we got that little bit of fuel back, so that should be just about enough. Hopefully we can keep in mind only 1 more lap to go, I believe. 2 seconds, it's a lot to make up for them, but he is pushing like crazy. It's gonna be tough. He's really gaining quickly now. 1.8 seconds on the final lap, so this is gonna be for all the marbles. This is gonna be for the podium. Hopefully he needs to slow down soon just to get his tires and fuel in order, but obviously gonna be tough. 1.7 is gonna be super tough. All right, we can probably use a little bit more fuel at the end there if we really need to try and just keep him ahead, but for now let's keep it at this. Just gonna go yellow. We're now hitting our lowest bandwidth. That's also why he's getting close so quickly, but it is what it is. Well, actually not. Tulpano hasn't complained yet, I think. For Voxy, honestly, I don't care too much. 6 is nice, but we're worried more about Tulipano. Alright, and that is a podium for Tulipano. Let's now switch to our second driver here. How are you doing? Getting pushed by Hamilton here. But that should be okay, honestly. I think you're fine. You have about a full second, so yep, there you go. Alright, both our drivers managed to keep the guys behind them. And that is actually another podium for AVO here. Didn't win the race, of course, but, well, getting a podium there thanks to a good strategy where we are one of the few people that stayed on a 2-stop, or at least a good 2-stop. Few people did a 2-stop, but then they went to wets, which was just an inferior choice, I think. Yeah, I think that worked about as well as we could have. I think if we had done what Sharp and Surkov did and did a 3rd stop just to go to wet, I don't think that would have worked out for us. That's just too much time spent. And you do have to factor in also, AVO did get actually two pit mistakes, which cost them about 3 seconds in total, I think. So that would have been a lot less close if we didn't have those. It was a bit unlucky because we only have like, what, a 8% chance to get a mistake, but very happy nonetheless. Let's see if scrutineering gets us anything else. Doesn't look like it. I don't think there's been much using illegal parts or anything. Flores did get a 10-second penalty. Sucks for her. Haha. Our main rival. But yeah, that was a lot of points. I think that pretty much puts us into very good contention now to keep that for our 5th spot over Van Dort Racing. And it also means AVO now went above Lucia Flores in the driver championship standings. That should really be a motivation for him. Yeah, I mean, 34 points. I don't think they're going to get back on us for that. Obviously, we're also not fighting Windsor for 4th, but yeah, that is very nice. We basically almost just clutched, completely secured that 5th spot. And that is very important for our finances at the very least. So, very nice. All right. Let's see then. Loading screen takes a little bit. There you go. All right. I think that should be, yeah, we came in 2nd, so a very good result. Darren should be very happy. And if there is any marketability to be gained, we should be getting it. Yep, there you go. As you can see, our 2 drivers have maxed out their potential. They're not really gaining anything anymore. Perfectly fine, honestly, doesn't matter. They're both really good drivers. Not sure we're going to keep them, but we'll see. As you can see, we're not really earning much per race right now, thanks to that one fixed payment sponsor that we didn't get a good option for, but that is what it is. We'll just wait. Alright, and there is also that rear wing that we were building. We can immediately next episode build another one. And then, yeah, that will probably be the last part of the season, actually. We have 17 days till the Dubai Grand Prix, and that will determine the final standings. As you can see, Sharp has pretty much clinched the driver championship. On the other hand, there is still a lot to be played for in the team constructorship, as Scuderia Rossini right now is ahead, but Steinman Motorsport is right behind, only 18 points. That can be a big swing in just one race. Let's see what happens there. I think for us, unless Van Dort pulls a miracle out of a hat, I think we are completely safe getting 5th. So that was very nice, actually. Great result, great reign for us. Even though we picked a different strategy that wasn't really optimal for this, it still worked out in the end, so I'm very happy with that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, I hope to see you in the next one. And thanks so much for watching. See you in the finale next time. Bye-bye.